What is up, everybody? We are live and we are talking Blue Jays. Let me just pull that in a little bit, and there we go. We're good to go. I am so excited for this, as this is going to be my first time really talking about the Blue Jays. Well, since the World Series, since before that, since I guess it was the playoffs, and just before we were doing our regular episodes of the Sports Hour, and we were getting into the Blue Jays. We were talking about pitching, we were talking about the bullpen, and we were talking about hitting, and we were talking about all three coming together at the same time. Let me get my jersey right here, and it did. It came together all at the same time for a very long time there in the playoffs. It's tough to reflect on. It's tough to look back on that game and the playoff run and how it went. Of course, George Springer, that home run. My goodness, that home run. That was so much fun. I mean, all my Blue Jay fans out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What sent the Mariners home. Good memories. Good memories. Until, well, of course, what we were talking about all season, it felt like. Jeff Hoffman came into the game with a chance to win us the World Series, and we were not able to do it. And so I guess that's all I'll say about that for now, because I want to get into these free agents that the Blue Jays brought in. First off, going to send out a couple messages. And then we'll be ready to go. All right, we are ready to go. We'll pull up some stats along the way as we talk about these signings as they are going through the bottom of the screen there. Copy and pasted directly from the Blue Jays website. So there shouldn't be any mistakes. I hope there's no mistakes. And these are just the big ones. There's been a bunch of other minor league signings, but these are the ones that I want to talk about. And so we'll get into it. We'll talk about the most recent one, and then we'll go backwards in order. And so this is going to involve a lot of looking up stats. So the first one is Kazuma Okamoto, and I am so excited for him to be joining the Jays. I read a report he's going to be used as a super utility infielder, kind of like how we used Ernie Clement, where he's going to play first base, maybe some second, third base most of the time, and maybe in the outfield every so often. Kind of also how Barger was being used as a third base outfield. That's the reports I've heard. Outfield definitely the least. It's definitely, again, the words super utility infielder ring through my brain that I remember reading. He's played third, first, and outfield in the past in Korea. And wow, has he put up some stats. In a 5-year span dating back from 2021, 2022, 23, 24, and 25. He has been unreal. Only playing in, not playing in Korea, playing in Japan, which makes this even more impressive as the pitching is a little bit more impressive over in the Japanese leagues, and the offense is definitely a little bit less. So he was playing in the Japan Coastal League. The Japan Central League. I can't read. And there he was raking. I mean, he's been so good. I mean, if we want to go back, we could go back. 2018, all the way from 2018 to his 2023 season, from the ages of 22 to 27, he put up a bare minimum of 30 home runs and 90 RBI in each of the seasons. This guy's good. This guy's gonna be good. This past season, he only played in 77 games, unfortunately, but in those 77 games, he hit .322 with a .411 on base percentage. His slugging was .581 for a .992 OPS. If he can just do a fraction of that in the major leagues, we got ourselves a stud here. Continuing on, it's really just the production. If we could throw him in the 5, 6, 7 spot, where guys like Varsho were constantly striking out and being free outs in the playoffs, that's what we're looking for here. So I love the addition of Okamoto. I'm going to have to learn how to say the name right. Okamoto, that's probably more correct. So I love the addition. I think Blue Jays fans should get excited for this. And wow, does he have a sweet swing. I mean, the highlights that this guy generates are so satisfying to watch. It is impressive. It doesn't look like I mean, it looks like he has power. It's just so smooth. It looks so effortless. That's the word. It looks like he's not even trying, and he will just destroy that ball. So I'm excited to see that when he comes over into the big leagues. And health is one thing. Of course, he didn't play fully in that last season, but every season other than that, he has played 143, 143, 140, 140. Like, he is good. He plays games. I'm not worried about that one bit. So, Kazuma Okamoto fans, there's reason to be excited about this. And one of the most exciting reports I read was that we are not done with either Tucker, Bichette, or Bregman. Bregman, I'm out on Bregman. I'm good. And personally, I'm out on Bo Bichette, if we're going to be honest. Tucker is my guy. I think we need more help in the outfield than the infield, especially seeing as Ernie Clement's my guy. I don't see a reality where we're willing to give $300 million to Bo Bichette, given the past injury history he had that last season. Like, I think, if anything, Toronto's going to give him a 1-year prove-it deal, and if we're not, then he's just not for us. So that's going to be a big thing there to keep your eye on. I think Kyle Tucker is the prize here, but we'll have to see. Again, it doesn't seem like he's going to be getting that $400 million, but for a guy that, I mean, early on in the season was right there with Shohei Ohtani in the NL MVP race, pretty much up until June. I think April and May, he was one of the top hitters in the entire league, and of course, over the stretch of the full season, played 136 games, missed a chunk in the middle of the season there, put up a WAR of 4.6, which is plenty impressive, was All-Star, Silver Slugger winner in the outfield. Putting him next to Varsho will be so electric. I mean, he's not the greatest fielder in the world, but just Varsho can make up for anyone in the outfields there. The key thing that I love from looking at his stats is his OPS plus. If you're not an advanced stat nerd, that's not even the most advanced stat, but if you're not an advanced stat nerd, OPS plus takes the stat OPS, which is on base percentage plus slugging, which is the most valuable stat at the end of the day. Of course, on base percentage, how often you get on base, slugging, how many bases you reach when you do hit the ball. And so it's a combination of how hard you hit it and how often you get on. And so your OPS plus makes it a baseline number of 100 is average. And so if you're above 100, you're good. If you're below 100, you're bad. It's very simple. It's a great stat. Guys like Barry Bonds set records by putting OPS pluses up in the 200s. Aaron Judge this past season, I think, for reference, we'll go to Aaron Judge because we're going to look at an outlier to help us understand our stat here. So Aaron Judge this past season had an OPS plus of 215. So he's pretty good. He's pretty good. I maybe a bad comparison. Well, okay. Now let's go look at Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette, good comparison. Guy that we're trying to bring back in free agency. He had an OPS plus of 129. He's not quite Aaron Judge, but he's still very good. Again, bad comparison for Aaron Judge, and again Barry Bonds. Bad place for my brain to go for comparing these players. But Bo Bichette had a 129 in this past season, which ended unfortunately with an injury, but was relatively healthy up until that end of season. Now, if we go over to Kyle Tucker and look at his OPS in this past season, was a 143. That is 14 points higher than Bo Bichette, if I'm good at math. And that is a down season for Kyle Tucker, and that's what excites me, because the season before that, in 78 games, he had a OPS plus of 179. If we could tap into that, especially during the playoffs, because really you only have to be elite in the final 30 games of the season. Other than that, doesn't really matter. We saw that with a guy like Ernie Clement, who suddenly became the best baseball player on the planet. So if we could get him to tap into that. But also his second last year in Houston, 157 games, was healthy, 142. 3 straight seasons of absolutely elite work with the bat. No doubt that's the guy for me that I want to bring in. And then he's playing that outfield. Do a little rotation with Santander, him, Varsho as your main three in the outfield. You got, of course, off the bench now Nathan Lucas, who was incredible in that last stretch, Joey Luperfido, and then designated hitter, of course, is going to be George Springer. That's what that allows you to do. And by not bringing back Bo Bichette, you are now allowing yourself to have an infield of Vladdy at first, Ernie full-time at second base, Jimenez full-time at shortstop, and now Okamoto at third. I love that lineup. I love it defensively. I love it offensively. I don't see very many holes in that. We all know that Ernie Clement is not going to be that playoff guy the entire season. And I have no qualms with that. I have no issues. That was a stretch of play that will never be repeated, I don't think. I mean, he literally set the record for hits in a postseason. But still, everyday hitter, I like that. In the past 2 seasons, Ernie Clement has only gotten better. A 263, before I even look up the stats, it was a 263 in 2024, and last year he had a 277 on base percentage. Better each year, that would be incredible. Batting average. His on base percentage went from 284, not very good, to 313. Mediocre. But we will take mediocre for one of the best defensive players in all of baseball. I mean, he led the league in defensive runs saved and didn't win Gold Glove, which is... If we want to talk about things that got me really upset, the World Series, yeah, that's one. Ernie Clement not getting Gold Glove for utility is one of the most baffling decisions I've ever seen made from a voting committee in my entire life. I don't even remember who won it. I'm that angry at the decision that I've completely blocked it out of my memory. It was one of the best defensive seasons from an individual playing any position. Looking at his position chart, it has... all right, let's see here. Third, second, shortstop, designated hitter, first base, let's see here. That's left field and pitching. He is only missing center and catcher. Center field catcher, I think. Oh, and left or right field. Right field, that's how the numbers work. He played everything, basically. It would have been easier to list the positions he didn't play rather than going through all the ones he did. It was an incredible season. And with that, he still put up counting stats like 50 RBIs for all my old heads out there that like those stats. 50 RBIs, 9 home runs for your super utility defensive player. And, of course, 151 hits in 157 games. I'll take that all day. I will take that all day. So... that's what this allows you to do. And now we'll shift our look over at the pitching staff as we now have 2 aces. As Dylan Cease, the first splash signing, big contract, but I mean, we're a rich team. I'm not worried. This is so exciting to me. This is one of the most exciting acquisitions. Looking over at the comments here, a little pause and read. We got Austin saying Jay's got their own big Kaz now, just like, Kazuchika Okada, which Nolan Thode said he was the super utility infielder at the 2019 McBaseball Classic, of course. And then we got Dave Collings in the chat saying Barger will split time at third for Okamoto. It'll be Barger versus the righties, Okamoto versus the lefties. And I like the sounds of that. That is all so exciting to me. So jumping back over, Dylan Cease, looking at just his statistics, I mean, his ERA, 4.55. Wow. Not good. But he is so much more than just that as a pitcher. Last time he was in the American League was pitching with the White Sox. And in those seasons, he had a 3-6 and 2 WAR seasons. It was... especially the 2022 season. He came second place in Cy Young. So good. So good. Also, let's see. Update in real time. Shane Bieber doesn't count as a signing because he wasn't a free agent, but we re-signed him. Just thinking about that for our bottom ticker here. But either way, when given a good team, I'm so confident in Dylan Cease. On the 2024 Padres, who were quite good, unlike last year's Padres, who were more middling than them, He was 14-11 as a record. That doesn't matter. More so, what matters is the 3.47 ERA in 189 innings pitched. Last year, 168. This year, I think we're going to get an easy 170 plus. That's all you can really ask for. The big things are ERA plus. It's up and down, but in his best season with San Diego, it was a 118, which is the same as OPS plus, where 100 is the league average number. That means that he was 18, percentiles better. In that 2022 season, he had an ERA plus of 180. So if we could tap into that, well, we might just have another Cy Young winner on our hands here. The thing that I like, and the thing that people should be looking at when they look at Dylan Cease, is the fact that he, and if I'm reading this correctly, yes, led the National League in strikeouts per 9. He is a flamethrower, and he's got nasty stuff. 11.5 strikeouts per 9 inning to a 3.8 walks per 9 ratio. Very similar stuff to, we'll look at a guy that Blue Jay fans know very well, Kevin Gausman, and we'll compare stats there. As in his most recent season, Kevin Gausman in 8.8 strikeouts per 9, but a 2.3 walks per 9. So we're going to see a lot of wild stuff, but it's a comparable type of dominance. Different stuff. We all know Kevin Gausman, he only has 2 pitches. Dylan Cease, he'll mix it up for us, but again, he's going to have that number one guy type dominance that we've been missing from anyone but Gausman. And Savage now. But we'll see if he can keep that going. Again, a guy my age, it is terrifying to think that he's going to be the most consistent pitcher in the world next year. It's like, I'm not the most consistent guy in the world, I'll be honest. It is scary to imagine that next year we're going to have a 22, turning 23 midseason regular starting pitcher on our roster who we drafted, what was it, last year, 2 years ago? I'm excited, yes, but I think I'm a little bit more nervous than most people, I guess, so to say. But anyways, that will do for the starters. The rotation right now in my head is Gausman, Cease, Savage, Bieber, Lauer, maybe Cody Ponce. Maybe Cody Ponce takes that last spot. That means we have, I'm pretty sure that would mean we have 5 righties as our starting rotation. But Cody Ponce excites me. Again, another guy that we're getting from overseas. He played in Japan for a very long time and was midder than mid. He was MID, mid. It was not good. It's not pretty looking at his stats. He's fine, but it's a pitcher that didn't make it in the Baltimore Orioles system, so he decided to go to Japan, and he was middling. No other word to describe it. It's like he wasn't bad per se, but he wasn't good. Then he goes to Korea, and I've talked with my dad about this. He read a report, and I've read that same report now, that he learned a new pitch, and his stuff plus went up like crazy, and he seems like a new man. We'll hope that he could be that at least a little bit for us. 17-1 is one of the most incredible records I've seen for a pitcher. It doesn't matter the league. That's a great season. So we're bringing in that kind of guy. We'll see. Again, it's a lot like Okamoto, where I don't know if that's going to be the most sustainable thing in the world when he makes the jump, but I'm excited nonetheless. And then we got one last guy here to talk about, if I'm not mistaken, and yes, that is going to be Tyler Rogers. And that one, as a baseball guy, excites me the most, if we're being honest with each other. Making his debut in 2019. What a weird pitcher. Oh, and yep, there you go. Talking about the starting rotation, we'll do just a little rewind. Barrios making a comeback. I don't think so, but I welcome it. More arms, and he's a talented guy when he is on, so hey, I would like to see a nice comeback season out of Barrios, but if not, I'm happy to take on a lefty in the rotation with an Eric Lauer. Anyways, back to talking about Tyler Rogers. A workhorse guy coming out the pen. He played 81 games. He played the most games of any pitcher in the National League last year. Of course, that was for the New York Mets half the season. The other half of the season was playing for the Giants. And the Giants is where he's been his whole career and where he has been pretty good, like pretty lights out. Again, looking at ERA, not the greatest for a relief pitcher because he only comes in for one inning, but his ERA goes 1, 4.5, 2, 3.5, 3, 2.8, 1 and then it goes 1.98. So it's up and down. He's a reliever. Those aren't the numbers we should be looking at. The numbers we should be looking at are stuff like WHIP, where walks over innings pitched in this last season was 0.944. And what that means is he was allowing under one base runner per inning. Of course, walks plus hits over innings pitched. That doesn't include things like errors, hit by pitches, and other stuff. But at its simplest level, he was allowing 0.94 people on base per inning, which isn't even one human. And it's hard to do damage when you're not even on base. So that's what I'm excited for. If he could just come in, right the ship for 2 innings, and then set up Jeff Hoffman, he's our guy. So I like him. I'm excited for what he can do. What a season he was having in San Francisco. What a bad end of the season. But while he was in San Francisco, his strikeouts over walk rate was incredible. He would have 6.8 strikeouts per 9 innings to 0.7 walks. Incredible numbers. That's a guy I'm so excited to welcome into this bullpen, and he is a guy that we have needed bad. And the fact that he is a right-handed pitcher, I don't really care about because no one else in the league pitches like him. Lefty, righty, he is unique. And so no matter what he could face against, I feel like hopefully he'll be able to play against lefties and righties wherever we need him in the order. I doubt he really comes in for 2 innings of work, thinking about it logically. He's more likely than not just going to be a 1 inning and one and done guy, as that is what he has mostly done here. Looking at his last season of work, going through his 80 games, the most he ever pitched in one game was 1.1 innings. So, yeah, he's going to be a one and done guy for us. 8th inning, go get us that Jeff Hoffman save. God, it scares me so bad that we really have to rely on Jeff Hoffman for another season. It really does. I really hate it. Ugh. ABH, anyone but Hoffman. Next year, I will lose my mind. I will write letters every day to the Blue Jays front office anonymously because I one day want to work for them. So I'm not trying to ruin that prospect. But I will anonymously, well, now I'm snitching on myself. I will write letters every day to Ross Atkins and the rest of the Blue Jays staff until someone notices it and trades or cuts Hoffman. We could maybe get value out of him if we traded him. Like, someone would give us a prospect. Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt anyone would. It's like Morgan Riley for the Maple Leafs. No one wants him. No one actually wants him. He's trash. So anyways, that's most of what I had to talk about for the Blue Jays here. Very nervous about how this season's going to go because the bar has been set so high. We're seeing here Dave calling saying, I will turn to the channel anytime he comes into a game, of course, talking about Rogers. How could you not? It's going to be must-watch television. So, yeah, again, I'm so nervous about this season. It is, again, the bar has been set so high. I want 90 wins again. I feel like I'm going to be disappointed if we don't win 90 games. Bare minimum playoffs, bare minimum. If we don't make playoffs again, that is a failure of a season, obviously. But I want 90 wins. I want to be back in the World Series. And I have no doubt. And also, a clarification in the chat there. Dave Calling saying he will turn the channel away whenever Hoffman comes in. Unlike Rogers, who we will be tuning to watch, because that's going to be fun. And that's going to do it as we reach 5:30. I'm going to wrap up the episode here talking about our Blue Jay baseball that I cannot wait for next year. I want to hear your predictions about the season. I'm going to say a comfortable 93 wins, more than we won last year. I think we only finished with, 91 wins? I think we're going to be a better team. I really do. I think there's no reason Ross Atkins and the rest of the front office can't keep cooking. Kyle Tucker's my guy. I'm predicting right now we're signing Tucker, Bo Bichette, and Bregman are going to Boston. So we'll see how well that ages. Clip that and tweet it at me when I am wrong, at Curtis Collings on Twitter, because I'm sure I'm going to be wrong. I'm so sure I'm going to be wrong. So make sure that you like this if you did. Subscribe to the Collings Throat Network. Turn on the bell because I will be streaming every single day until I go on vacation. That's going to be the 10th to the 17th, but don't worry because I got content in store. We're going to be doing a little Blue Jays GM series. So we're going back to 2024, the year that we didn't have a lot of fun, and try to, turn that around. So again, subscribe, turn on the bell, so you don't miss a single upload from the channel, as I'm going to be filling it up here in 2026. So thank you so much for tuning in. Till next time, peace out, everyone.